Okay, good morning all. On behalf of AJK College of Arts and Science, I welcome to the skill-based webinar in Advanced Cinematics. I take this opportunity to welcome today's resource person, Mr. Staline, Center Head, Creator and Educator in 3D, VFX and Game Design, MAAC, Palakkad, Coimbatore. It is an honor and privilege for us, sir, to have you with us today. I also welcome Dr. Ajit Kumar Lalmohan, Professor and Secretary, AJK College of Arts and Science, Dr. B. Satish Kumar, Principal of this college, department faculties, and various department HODs, and my dear students. Once again, I welcome you all for this session. Now I hand over the session to our lovable resource person. Sir, you can take the session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, guys. I think we have around 55 people. All are into BC, is it? BSc?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the students from computer science and Viscom.
Okay, Viscom. Okay, Viscom also there. Okay. Yes. First of all, thank you all, guys. 53 people. It's a good number to start with. We hope more to join. And I thank Kamal Raj sir for initiating this webinar. Thank you, sir. And thanks for calling me a lovable person. Thank you. And I hope, guys, you would have received the poster of today's webinar. It's on advanced cinematics. So we'll be looking into the advancement of animation and VFX in this media and entertainment sector. Okay, the origin of animation and VFX. The development, so where all it is used, and what are the career opportunities we have. And also I'd like to take this moment to introduce our company, what is our contribution to this industry, and what you can gain from us. So I think it'll be more of an introductory session because some of you are into BCA and CS, some might have an understanding of animation and VFX, most of you might not have. So I'd like to throw some light on the basic of animation VFX so that you get a foundational understanding of it. So this is a presentation model. I've created a few slides. I've included a lot of images and videos to make it more visually understanding. So it's self-explanatory, but even then I'd like to take on more questions at the end so I can clear your doubts. So by saying that, I'd like to share my screen. So you must be seeing a presentation with a welcome. Sir, theriyunga screen theriyala?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have just 1 hour time. So I've made a lot of slides. I want to, introduce everything to you in this 1 hour. So I'll be a little quick somewhere, and I'll keep it in English itself. If anyone wants me to switch to Tamil, you can very well. I think sir can give them permission to talk. If you want me to speak in Tamil. As I said, today's session is on an introduction to advanced cinematics.
Where the best jobs in animation, VFX, and multimedia come looking for you.
So that's our company, MAAC. So we have been a leader in providing animation, VFX, multimedia, and gaming courses throughout India. So let me come to that part later on. Let's stick to the advanced cinematics. So more into advanced cinematics. So to start with, design is where science and art break even. So why we mention this is people still think that animation or art is entirely a different stream that is nothing to be connected with science or engineering. So we want to break that. So by bringing you this quote, design is where science and art break even. So if you see art, there is no art without a science backing it up. Here, for example, if you take a logo, there is a science behind it. There is a mathematical equation behind it. There is a golden ratio behind it. So there is no art without science. So if you come to film, an art director uses science to design the set, like uses the perspectives to create a on set. Okay, so there is science. When you come to cinematography, you take say lighting, or you take the shades or colors. Again, there is science. Okay, there's color theory, there is lighting technology. So there is always a connection between art and science. So you shouldn't separate both. So you should always link it. The second thing is art challenges technology and technology inspires the art. So this is one quote that we artists always keep it in mind, because early stages, if you see, when Disney introduced this Mickey Mouse, and those kind of animation, there were a lot of ideas in their mind, but they did not have enough technology to bring that on screen. So there were limitations. So when technology advanced, okay, so the artists were able to bring all their creativity onto the screen. So technology has supported them in a very big way. So art always challenges the technology. So my imagination grows day by day. I see a lot of things. I wanted to make so many things. So that is art. Okay. So that art challenges the technology to see if the technology exists to bring that art on screen. So the best example is if you take Avatar. Early when the director scripted out Avatar, there was not enough technology to bring that creativity on screen. So they waited for so much time. They created the technology to bring that that art form to life, and then they brought us Avatar, one of the biggest blockbusters of the decade. So always technology inspires the art, which means I have a lot of technology, so I can dream a lot. I can bring my creativity on screen with the help of the technology. So both art and technology always goes hand in hand. So that's the meaning of this. And I'd like to play this video. Some should have seen this video. You can call it an inspirational video or a motivational or whatever. I see this video as a spark that it taps the memory of our childhood days. I hope you like it. It's a bit low resolution video. Bear with me. I hope you can hear the audio. I hope you liked the video. I hope you would have understood what the video is trying to say. So as kids, we were all creative ones. We all had different kind of ideas. The problem was, as we grew up, we developed a lot of fear, along with us. Why is because we all became stereotypic. Okay, we started following what others were doing. For example, everyone started doing engineering for a period of time, then BCom for a period of time. So we all became stereotypic following that, thinking what others will think about us. We always didn't want to, be the odd man out. There we lost the creativity. But still, we have the creativity in us, but we don't believe in ourselves because of the fear, what the society might think, or where will I be, in the future if I choose the creative path. So we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe that we can do, and also you have to do a lot of research and find out what can help you bring that creativity out and make a better future for you. So you can if you believe it. So welcome to the world of animation and visual effects. So this world is filled with a lot of opportunities. So I played that video just to tap your memories out and make you believe that you can still do it. It doesn't apply only for this industry. It applies for anything. You can, if you wanted to become a programmer, but you would have chosen some other stream. You wanted to become a filmmaker, but you would have chosen computer science. So always chase your dreams. So we are introducing you to this world of animation and visual effects filled with multiple opportunities. And the posters that I have displayed, I think most of you would have seen. Mighty Little Beam. This is one animation film that was created in India for the world audience. So these are the four exciting industries: the animation industry, the VFX industry, the gaming industry, the graphic and web industry. So these are the major four pillars, and there are so many other sub industries coming under these four major industries. So these are some of the projections that were taken. In 2014, if you see, the projection was $1.06 billion, and in 2005 it has gone up. 3D modeling, motion graphics, 3D rendering, visual effects. These are some of the other subcategories of those four major players. Coming to the media and entertainment industry, you see financial year 2014 and 2021, there is a drastic improvement. So this is the only industry which has seen a significant growth in this pandemic situation, because everyone were in lockdown, everyone were inside house, and we had no other choice but to watch TV and play games. We had no other choice, right? So at this moment, media and entertainment industry saw a huge leap. For example, Hotstar and Disney, a collaboration, after Disney collaborated with Hotstar, they had a target to be achieved in next 3-4 years, but they achieved the target in 1 year during the pandemic situation, because people started to consume a lot of digital, content, mainly media and entertainment. So that is why if you see Hotstar and Amazon Prime, Netflix and Voot, Z5, all these OTT platforms have brought in so many series and films in it. animation, VFX, and post-production industry. The industry has shown decent growth on the back of VFX post-production, not animation. So there is a difference between this animation and post-production. Post-production alone has seen a decent growth. So increased consumption of VFX and digital post-production in film and TV. So posters which I showed in the beginning, all these movies have tons of VFX works in it. Okay, so and most of the works have been outsourced to India, and that is why Indian animation industry has seen a very huge growth. The lack of original IP creation is a major reason for the stagnation of animation industry. So this scenario changed a lot during for the past 2-3 years. So there was no original IP creation. That means we were just supporting the the Hollywood movies and other movies and series from the studios in India. Okay? We were just supporting the outsourcing, but we did not create our own content. That is one area where India was lacking, but past couple of years, that was also fulfilled. The reason why I'm saying this is this series, Mighty Little Bee, which was telecast in Netflix, is the first Indian-made animation series which was widely liked by the global audience, and it has seen a very good. The rating also has gone up, and people started liking that, and the company also recruited so many people to do more series on it. So the Indian animation film industry, it is the largest in the world by films produced and the tickets sold. That said, in the value terms, you can see there is a huge leap from 2016 to 2020. If you see Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, and other regional and international projects done. So another trend has been growing increase in demand of domestic IP versus services for international projects. This is what I was talking on the previous slides. We not only backed up the outsourcing. So nowadays, Indian animation and VFX studios not only support CG content creation for international movies and TV series for worldwide broadcast market, but also work on domestic projects, which increasingly employ the use of CG. So Bahubali, which was released in 2015, opened a big gate for this. Okay, a big gate for creating our own IP contents. The animation industry has seen steady growth in the past years, but IP work has been growing faster by 18.4% from 2018 to 2019 versus 8.9% for services according to 2019 KPMG report. So that is a huge growth. People who follow this Hotstar, Prime, and other OTT platforms, people who watch these series, I can bet you can see the Indian made series and films are equal to the Hollywood movies nowadays. The series that are coming now, you take anything, whether it's romantic or a thriller or a comedy, everything is far equal to the Hollywood products. So these are the projections. Where were we in 2019 and where we are going to be in 2024. So there is a 29.1% increase. So these are the industries: digital content, television, print, films, gaming, animation, VFX, OOH, radio, music. Okay, so those are the projections where our animation industry is going to be. And to attain that stage, this industry requires a lot of manpower, just not manpower, but skilled manpower. Okay, I hope I have to emphasize on that. We need skilled manpower to achieve these numbers. Now, coming to the technical parts, let's keep these projections aside. So what is animation? Okay, so people always talk about what animation and VFX bluntly, but no one explains what animation is. So what we do here, so animation can be defined as the manipulation of static images to give an illusion of movement. So we draw each and every frame. So drawing was done early days. Now we do it on computer, and the computer does most of the job for us. So this happens when a sequence of images are run through the projector or any medium at a rapid speed of 24 frames per second. So all drawings run in a sequence give us an illusion of movement. Okay, so that is animation. This is an example. So each frame is drawn and then run in a particular speed. So these are some of the origin or inspirations of animation. If you could see the old cave drawings and sculptures, it could have been an inspiration for animation. It's not proven that these are inspiration, but it could have been. I take it as that. The drawings show that people were involved in some kind of action. Okay, this animal is in motion. Okay, there is some kind of locomotion here, and this could have inspired people to bring animation to life. From there on, the evolution of animation started. The first to be introduced was Thaumatrope. It was like a toy that was popular in 19th century. A disc with a picture on each side is attached to two pieces of string. When the strings are twirled quickly between the fingers, the two pieces appear to blend into one due to the persistence of vision. So it is like a coin with two images on both sides. We usually call it as a bird in the cage, but in this image there is a monkey inside the cage. So one side has a monkey and one side has a cage. So when you twirl it quickly, you get an illusion that there is a bird inside the cage. So that is the first step towards animation. These were all done before the introduction of papers. Then came the zoetrope. This is consists of cylinders with slits cut vertically in the sides. So you can see a cylinder, you can see some slits, and you can see the drawings pasted inside the cylinder. So when that cylinder is spun around, okay, as the cylinder spins, the user looks through the slits at pictures across and get the illusion of motion. So that illusion of motion is called animation. Okay. So everything, all these are series of drawings. So when it is run at a particular speed, we get an illusion of motion. So as time went on and paper was more available, people wanted to make their own animation toys. This introduced the flipboard. So this, I think most of us would have tried in our school days. I don't know if 2K kids have tried it, but most of us tried. Flipbooks are made by layering the sheets of paper with slightly altered images in a sequential order. So we take a paper, we draw each frame on each paper at the corner, and when we flip it, we can see the illusion of motion. So this is one example. So this video shows something called FPS, which means frames per second. So 30 frames per second keeps the motion clear so that it is perceived by the human eye. 120 frames per second makes it more slow, which means you are taking 120 extra frames. Okay, so this is how animation evolved itself from paper. Now we are into the computers, where we can straight away draw on the computer screen itself to bring things to life. So this is a very long video. We'll try to run it just to give a glimpse of the evolution of animation.
Smart boy.
To do our job with John. We're in to win. Turn in your case.
Oh, so you want to play with me? All right.
So you can see different forms of animation, styles were introduced as this past.
Smart too. Great bouncing iceberg. Now, I'm sure it's not.
Thanks, you swine, old buddy pig. You grew behind out here and get some kicks. Huh?
Auntie Blair, you want to lick? You want
It's a very lengthy video.
It was your secrets of.
So 1984, we were introduced to the 3D. Now came Cartoon Network,
You like to
and then the 3D animation.
What's the matter with you?
Where there, buddy?
Then the first full-length feature film in 3D was made. It was much good. Then 2D, 3D, and live action was introduced. And from there on, more style of animation started to come. So this is the process of filmmaking: pre-production, production, and post-production. So what do we do in pre-production? This is the process of preparing all the elements involved in a film, play, or other performance. So this is where we plan everything before going into the production stage. So we do the casting, film budgeting, story developing, screenplay, storyboarding, visualization, animatics, and on and on. So when it comes to high budget VFX films, without detailed pre-production work, the movie will not come out good. So it will take more time. So this much of detailed work in this movie helped the movie to come out a little quickly, and you can see the output was also fabulous. In the production stage, the process refers to the stages required to complete a media project from the idea to the final master copy. So this is where the actual shooting or recording is done. So after pre-production, you take it on to the set, or you take it to any other medium to bring that paperwork to life. So again, there are different forms or different mediums when it comes to production. So you can choose to do it in traditional animation, or 2D animation, or 3D animation, or stop motion, or motion graphics. So I'd like to quickly give an example of what all these are.
One later in the video. Traditional animation, sometimes referred to as cell animation, is one of the older forms of animation. In it, the animator draws every frame to create the animation sequence, just like they used to do in the old days at Disney. If you've ever had one of those flip books when you were a kid, you'll know what I mean. Sequential drawings, screened quickly one after another, create the illusion of movement. Traditional animation consists of hand drawings, called frames. In the past, the drawing occurred on a big light table, which is basically a drafting table with a big light panel in the middle of it, on which the animator drew the sequence. The light enabled the animator to see his previous drawings through the paper to get a better look at his animation. This is called onion skinning. Nowadays, even traditional animation is being done mostly on computers by using a tablet like the Wacom SMT. 2D or traditional animation is usually animated on 12 frames per second, with occasional faster action animated on 24 frames per second. Japanese animation, however, is known to be animated on a lower frame rate in most cases. Next on the list is 2D animation. When I talk about 2D animation, I'm referring to vector-based animation, like the ones done in Flash. This style has become very popular in the last decade, with the increasing amount of people doing it due to the accessibility of the technology. Flash is cheap and easy to use. Such are other vector-based animation programs. The reason I place 2D animation in a different category is that in addition to the option of animating frame by frame, an animator has an option of creating grids for the characters and then moving the body parts individually instead of drawing the character over and over again. After Effects allows you to create complex grids for animation, or use the puppet tool to drag and move body parts around. These flexibilities give beginners more option when approaching animation, especially if drawing using their strong suit, unlike traditional animation where drawing skills are mandatory. The third type is 3D animation, also known as computer animation, or honestly just animation at this point, since this is the most common form of animation today. Just like traditional animation used to just be called animation 30 years ago. 3D animation, however, works in a completely different way than traditional animation. They both require an understanding of the same principles of movement and composition, but the technical skill set is very different for each task. Like I mentioned before, while in the past you had to be an amazing draftsman to be an animator, with computer animation, that is not the case. 3D animation is more similar to playing with puppets rather than drawing. The animator moves the character in a 3D program with special controls that are connected to each body part, such as hands, elbows, legs, etc., and then sets a keyframe when all the body parts are in the right position. They proceed to move forward in time and move all these controls again to create another keyframe. The computer then calculates the journey the body parts is going through between each of those keyframes. The 3D animator will spend most of their time looking at curves that represent the movement of different body parts over time. Another big difference with 3D animation is that, unlike traditional animation, the character's body parts are always present and should be taken into consideration. Let me explain. When animating in 2D, the character has to be drawn for every frame. When the character is viewed from the side, half of its body isn't shown and thus isn't drawn. It technically does not exist. It's drawn on a flat page, and there isn't really more to the character other than what the animator draws. With 3D though, the character's body parts always exist in the shot. Even when one hand isn't visible, it's still there. That adds some work for the animator, since we need to be aware of the entire character at all times. The last major difference with 3D animation is the frame rate. Like I said before, traditional animators usually work on twos, which means they draw a new drawing every 2 frames, and thus having one drawing lasts for 2 frames. With 3D animation, however, the motion is always smooth, except for stylized pieces, which intentionally try to look different. Having a character stop completely looks like a mistake in 3D. Even when the character is standing still, there should always be some sign of life. This is something 2D animation can get away with much more easily than 3D. Number 4 on our list is motion graphics. While still considered a form of animation, motion graphics is rather different than the other types of animation on the list. Mostly because, unlike the other types, it is not character or story driven. It is the art of creatively moving graphic elements or text, usually for commercial or promotional purposes. Think animated logos, explainer videos, ad commercials, television promos, or even film opening titles. The skills for motion graphics don't necessarily translate to the other types of animation, since they don't require knowledge of body mechanics or acting, but they do have some attributes in common, such as understanding good composition and the all-important camera motion. Last but not least is stop motion. Stop motion is a special form of animation that combines live-action filmmaking principles with traditional character animation. Stop motion is done by taking a photo of an object and then moving it just a little bit and taking another photo. The process is then repeated, and when the photos are played back one after another, they give the illusion of movement. This is similar to traditional animation, but it uses real-life material instead of drawings. Let's look at some different styles of stop motion. One of the most popular forms is claymation, working with clay or Play-Doh characters that can easily be manipulated for animation. Advanced claymation, as seen in the Neighborhood or Army Crowd, uses metal skeletons on which the clay is then molded for more sturdy rigs. Some animators would use regular puppets instead of clay ones, usually also built upon some sort of skeleton rig. The faces of the characters can be replaced based on the expressions or be controlled within the rig. Another popular form of stop motion is cutout, using construction paper or cardboard characters and placing them on paper while shooting the animation from above. That's how South Park was originally made before they switched to computer. Similar to cutout animation, silhouette animation uses cardboard or some kind of flat material, but the objects are all dark and the shot is depicted with silhouettes only. This is one of the oldest forms of stop motion and is rarely used today. Some use action figures or Lego characters for animation. This genre is very popular on YouTube, with many channels dedicated to creating funny skits with Lego characters. Robot Chicken is a great example of that. They use famous action figures to make fun of pop culture. Then there's pixelation, a form of stop motion that uses real people and real environments to create unreal videos. It uses the stop motion method of taking a still photo, moving things around, and then taking another photo, but the subject matter is usually real people instead of puppets.
So I think you would have got a better understanding of the various production mediums now. For 2D animation, I think I don't have to explain all these things. I have more videos to play. So considering the time, I'm skipping these slides because we have already seen some examples of what is 3D animation, what is stop motion animation, and where all it is being used. We use this animation and VFX in feature films, short films, advertisements, architectural visualizations, e-learning, gaming, medical animation, broadcasting. I have few examples. I'll quickly run one example for architectural visualization, where 3D is being elevated from the ground or the civil plan. So that's all done in 2D and 3D, and of course post-production also is involved. So what is post-production? This is the third and the final major phase of production process. There are many things which can happen in this post-production process. One is editing the video, adding soundtracks, adding effects, adding titles, graphics, color corrections, exposure corrections, adding special effects, and reshooting if required. So what is VFX? This is the integration of live action footage and CG elements to create realistic imagery. It's called VFX. So we have a video that was shot and CG elements that was created in 3D environment. And when we combine both to give a believable output, that's called a VFX. So visual effects deals with the consolidation of real life footage and CGI to make situation which looks sensible and realistic. So this is an art form that films rely on for their existence. One quick example. So what we do in visual effects. So this video will quickly explain you what we actually do in
something a make kind of digital compositing, which is a creative process of assembling filmed and rendered elements from multiple sources to create a final lifelike illusion. What is that, you ask? Let me show you. It's a profession that includes many skills such as rotoscoping, which separates the foreground from the background, and there are all kinds of techniques.
This is called rotoscopy. One process
that we it is common to use a blue or green screen to easily remove the background from behind the actor, and that is called keying. And by doing that, we can create a more realistic background behind the actor. Tracking is another side of the story, and it is very important to know how to do well.
So this is
there's
tracking.
2D tracking, and there's 3D tracking, which recreates the exact movement of the camera. Another big part of this job is to remove objects, cables, and trackers, and paint them out and insert something else instead. And, of course, there's computer-generated elements, or, in short, CG compositing. Well, my friends always say VFX looks fake.
So that's rotoscopy paint. Duplication. Adding more elements. So that's one best example to explain what VFX is. I think it's the same slide. I'll repeat it again. So the evolution of VFX, it has evolved dramatically over the time, and particularly over the past 10 years. So there has been an incredible and revolutionary breakthroughs in the way technologies have been used in a range of Oscar-winning movies to TV. So we were talking about the movie called Avatar. So that happened because of the evolution of VFX. For example, you take Star Wars. The Star Wars has seen more evolution than any other movie has seen. Okay, so this franchise is probably starting from matte paint to stop motion animation to miniature animation to the latest technology using LED. So this has seen a very huge evolution. So that's the integration of 3D. Okay, so where all it is being used, it's used in motion graphics, title animation, compositing, tracking, editing, and color grading. So why animation VFX? So why do you have to choose this industry? The main factors are that Indian media and entertainment industry is expected to grow at a 13.5% during financial year 2019 to financial year 2024 to reach a size of 3,070 billion Indian rupees by financial year 2024, with advertising revenues expected to grow at 14.5% to reach 1,367 billion by that. Okay, so if you see these figures, you can see how the Indian animation has evolved. The development of India's digital infrastructure has given a boost to gaming as a segment, which witnessed significant growth in 2018. So earlier we were dealing only with animation and visual effects. Now gaming is another segment that has started to boom in India. So there are around 2,000 multiplexes in India, so more than 500 TV channels. India produces the highest number of movies in the world, and there is a demand for local content worldwide. So this is another reason why you have to be in this industry. Again, these are some of the figures. So demand of digital content is growing in all media. You take any media, not only media and entertainment, you go to any whether education industry or aviation or travel, you go to any industry, you can see digital content. So to create digital content, you need to know animation, visual effects, or graphics. So talent pool growing fast enough. People have started to know this industry. People are starting to learn, to cope up with the advancement of the future. The hardware and software costs going down. This is another reason the hardware costs have gone down. The software companies have also introduced, free plans to bring users to learn their software. This is also one more reason why animation and VFX industry is picking up. Softwares like MAAC, 3ds Max, Blender, MAAC are becoming more powerful. So all major companies are outsourcing to India, and all major brands are expanding in India. If you can see, there are top Hollywood studios placed in Bangalore, Mumbai, and other major cities, and they are still expanding to various other cities. So Indian animators are getting recognition in Hollywood. So we all know that most of the works are outsourced, and Indian animators are working on world-class movies, and they're getting recognized. The increase in OTT, that is over-the-top platforms like Hotstar, Amazon Prime, and Netflix, is also another reason why animation VFX is picking up. You see, Amazon Prime Video has 13 million active users. Hotstar has 300 million monthly active users, and Netflix boasts of the most content with 3,700 movies and 1,800 shows, which means there's a lot of digital content in it, where there's thousands and thousands of people behind it working. Another major industry is the AR and VR. The Bahubali, this is one big project that set the trend, or it's like a milestone. Bollywood VFX game changer. In Bahubali, the beginning, out of total 300 crore budget, 85 crore was spent on VFX. Bahubali 2 used 33 animation studios for VFX post-production alone, working over a span of 15 months. So there you can see how much of manpower they would have used. And the other emerging technology is augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, and personal assistant apps. So all requires 3D. So what is virtual reality and augmented reality? So a quick introduction.
Virtual reality is a fully immersive, computer-simulated environment that gives a user the feeling of being in that environment instead of the one they're actually in. A lot of video games have already developed the technology to put the user in an interactive world, in the driver's seat of a car, or on the battlefield in a first-person shooter, or even in your own little town. However, your perception of reality is not altered. You are simply a spectator overseeing the events that are happening in that world. In order for your brain to perceive a virtual environment, there are a few key factors that are vital for the creation of an immersive experience necessary for virtual reality. While there are different display methods, one of the most popular ways to experience virtual reality is through a headset. Headset devices use stereoscopic displays to make what you see three-dimensional, and to give depth to the image that you're looking at, kind of like how our eyes see anyways. However, stereoscopic display does not an immersive experience make. The ability to track a user's motion, particularly their head and eye movements, allows the image displayed in the headset to actually change your perspective. So if you turn your head to the left, the display will render whatever is on your left in that environment. Besides vision, certain VR experiences will also include other sensory stimulation like sound and even tactile feedback for touch. Lastly, in order to truly alter the perception of our reality, there has to be a certain level of virtual interactivity. True interactivity should allow a certain degree of user-controlled navigation. So I should be able to walk forward, backward, or turn through space in the virtual environment so that I don't feel like I'm just watching an elaborate 3D movie. When we are able to freely move within that environment and even interact with things in it, our brains can truly perceive that world as real, and thus, virtual reality. Virtual reality has a lot of practical purposes outside of gaming. and has been used for training simulators for soldiers, pilots, and doctors. But it is pretty cool for gaming too. Virtual reality has seen somewhat of a resurrection lately thanks to exceedingly improved technology and hardware. Devices like the Oculus Rift have advanced the VR experience by including superior graphics, improved latency, and wider range of motion. Reduced cost of components are also allowing virtual reality devices to become more affordable for consumers. Virtual reality.
So that's an example of virtual reality. What actually this does, it replaces the real world. That is, we get immersed into a 3D environment. Okay, it replicates the environment, it simulates the physical presence. It also allows interaction. Okay, so we need to create a digital environment in 3D, and we have to make it virtual reality so that the user can view it through that glass, the VR glass, and experience himself inside the digital world. So where all it can be used in travel, places, space, military, driving, simulations. It can also be used in storytelling, gaming, therapy, and marketing. I believe there is one Malayalam movie that is going to use VR technology in future. I think it's Prithviraj's movie. So it should be the first Indian movie to use VR experience. Augmented reality, this is another technology where augments or adds to the real world. So in VR, we get into the digital environment. In AR, it's just the opposite. We bring the digital content to the real world. So this is also used in education and training, real estate, architecture, defense, automotive, medicine, engineering, and retail. So I'll quickly show one thing by
The increasing complexity of products like vehicles and the amount of required information are often challenging for workshops and their staff. Information has to be researched in different service systems, and data has to be transferred to relevant places. The solution is literally right in front of your eyes. Augmented reality by Bosch. All relevant repair information at a glance. Bosch's augmented reality is an intelligent and intuitive technology which presents all relevant information directly in your field of view. So identifying fault sources and repairs can be performed more quickly and efficiently.
So that's in automotive, and this in engineering education.
Vocational Training Council, VTC, has developed a simulation system to allow students' learning interest and motivation with the aid of virtual reality and augmented reality technology. With the immersive virtual environment, various workplaces and real-world situations are presented to students through multi-sensory stimulations. Students are encouraged to demonstrate their knowledge and skill in the workplace scenarios through multiple platforms, including the CAVE automatic virtual environment, head-mounted display, tablet applications, and smart glasses. In the CAVE, the instructor can edit and customize the training scenarios so as to cater students' diverse learning needs.
Okay, so in medicine.
Project at the University of Basel, we developed this virtual reality room. What is unique about this virtual reality room is that for the first time, we provide volume record images in which some radiologists can change. They can also change the size, zoom in or zoom out, rotate it, approach, so that they have the most comfortable and best view of the scene.
Okay, how it's used in education? So we at MAAC, we provide students all augmented reality tools. where a student can learn things with the practical experience. So these are some of the immersive media technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. And this is the market of AR/VR. The global immersive media market was estimated at $18.4 billion, but in 2018, and it has seen a growth at 76% to reach $179 billion by 2022. So this is again some of the figures of how AR/VR market has grown from 5.9 billion. The real estate, media and entertainment, automotive and retail are expected to be the verticals with maximum adoption of immersive media. Now, you can see practically that even our local markets, for example, like Lakshmi Ceramics is using this virtual reality and AR/VR technology to sell their ceramics. And Bhima Jeweler is using this technology to sell their jewels. So slowly, even local market is consuming this AR/VR technology. So more career opportunities after doing this animation, VFX, AR/VR. You have a lot of opportunities in film, advertisement, gaming, medical and surgery, architecture and interior designing, e-learning, maps and tourism, training institutes, content development and web designing, character designing, VFX, voice dubbing, and more and more. So you can become a VFX artist, you can become a 2D animation professional, 3D animation professional, 3D modeler, 3D game artist, so many, which I have listed only a few. And coming to the contribution of us into this industry, we are DG Education and Training. We have partnered with MAAC. So we are the franchisees of MAAC in Coimbatore. So Maya Academy Hotlines Cinematics. It is the media and entertainment education brand of Aptech Limited. It's a global learning solution provider that commenced its education and training business in 1986 and operates through a network of centers worldwide. So we have more than 100+ centers throughout India. So this is about MAAC. So what we do, MAAC, we offer courses that are thoughtfully designed by experienced faculty to provide students thorough insight about dynamics of the multimedia and animation industry. So students at MAAC get the opportunity to work in a studio-like environment, practice on industry-specific software, attend course-specific workshops, and participate in studio visits. So all the syllabuses are created by our industry people. Okay, so we have a very good collaboration with top-notch studios. So where people come in and suggest what courses can be included in the syllabus, and we change it accordingly. So the student will, attend course-specific workshops, participate in studio visits also, where we take the students to various studios, show them how studios work, and our own institutes are designed in such a way that students get a studio-like feeling. And what we do in MAAC is we stimulate the creativity of the student. So as I said, we are all creative, but we forgot to be creative. So we help in bringing that creativity out of you. So these are the industry events that MAAC conducts. We conduct region, national students meet and industry seminars to increase awareness among MAAC students. So these are all very big events conducted by MAAC. We have specialization modules where students, after learning the course, they get specialized training in particular module before getting a job. And 24 FPS and MMS, these are the two biggest events that out of that 24 FPS is an international film festival conducted by MAAC, and our students are given chance to create animation films and other kind of creative works to be showcased in this 24 FPS. So a quick glimpse on what this 24 FPS would look like. So this is our event. This is like a flip fair for us, not only for us, for the entire Indian animation industry. And MAAC is proud that we are the host of this event.
आज यहाँ 1800 बच्चे हैं, कोई जीतेगा, कोई हारेगा, कोई ट्रॉफी ले जाएगा, कोई आंसू बहाएगा, लेकिन एक चीज तय है, आज जो भी यहाँ आया है, वो कुछ ना कुछ तो यहाँ से लेके जाएगा.
I've been coming to 24 FPS now for 10 years, and I can tell you, it's been increasing by miles each year, and this year was simply amazing.
To get this AJKCAS award, I think it's very well organized event.
So we not only encourage MAAC students, but artists from different parts of the world showcase their work, submit their works, and we acknowledge newcomers in this industry, whether it's film or television or even animation studios.
Goes to MAAC, Rajkot Ring Road.
So this is a very proud thing for MAAC. So these are the courses that we offer in animation programs, visual effects programs, multimedia and design, gaming, broadcast plus, augmented reality and virtual reality. And we also have skill enhancement courses where if you already know any of the software related to animation and VFX, we help in developing their skills by skill enhancement courses. We also have job ready courses which is taught in 90 days, and we prepare students to get a job in this industry. So students could get job ready 3 to 4 months. They benefit from 100% job placement assistance. MAAC has a holistic training pedagogy with the most experienced trainers on board, learn from the best. So get a chance to be placed at the top-notch companies in media and entertainment industry. So this is one best-selling course that we have. People, graduates, people who are working in other industries who want to switch over to animation VFX, they prefer this 3 to 4 months course, so they can quickly finish and get into a job in this industry. So industry expectations and what MAAC trains. So we make animators with more technical skills than drawing skills to have a successful career in animation field. So everyone coming to this field asks, the first thing they ask is whether I need very good drawing skills. It is not necessary. If you have it, it is good, but even if you don't have enough drawing skills, it's fair enough. Okay, so we create animators with more technical skills. That is what the industry expects. You cannot be an artist and an animator at the same time in a production house. So we make you better storytellers through our events like 24 FPS and 100 hours. As I said, we have more events, more competitions through which we keep you pushing forward and bring your creativity out and make you better storytellers. So we make you artistic, we make you creative, we make you coordinated, where you can work with a team and submit your work in a given deadline. And we also help you develop visual and logical skills. Okay, so how to look into a film, how to perceive it, all those stuffs. So these are some of the courses, short-term courses where you can quickly finish a course and get into the job. We have it in print design, we have it in web interactive design, 2D animation, 3D animation, and visual effects. For example, we have Compositing Plus who are interested in doing only post-production. You can do it for 5 months, 7 months. We have Cinema 4D who are interested in broadcasting or television. You can do this course in 5 months. You are interested in graphic design, you can do it in 3 months. You are interested in motion graphics, you can do it in 3 months. So these are the job market. There's a huge demand in these areas: feature films, television, advertisement, gaming, AR, VR, OTT platforms, immersive content, music videos, broadcast, e-learning, digital media, and game cinematics. And these are some of the companies that have hired us students so far. These are some of the professional studios and production houses listed. This is media and broadcast companies, and these are other segments. Okay, there's no time to read out the entire list. And these are our alumni, few of them, who have worked in blockbusters like Fan, The Martyr, Life of Pi, Jungle Book, Ice Age, Kai Poche, Uttapanda, and many more. And this is a placement report till 2020. I have the new placement report as well. I'll show it at the end. This is just to show that what this industry can offer you. Imran was offered 50,000 for motion graphic designer. Okay. Suraj Patel as a 3D artist in Amazon was offered 38,000. So this goes, the list is huge. So this is alumni speaking.
Nature has inspired me to become an artist. If you have it in your heart, you will find your path. My name is Shaitan. I'm an VFX artist at MAAC Studio. Here is my story. You know, my parents always wanted me to have a conventional career. There comes an issue. I always wanted to do something different in my life, but my parents were not at all agreeing with me. You know, one day a big clash happened. My father came to me and he said that I'm not going to pay your fees if you're not going to complete your chartered accountancy or if you're not going to join in your BCom like that. I was like very disappointed. But I already decided what I want to do in my life. My uncle came into the picture. He always believed in me. He always thought that I'll achieve something in my life. He offered to pay my fees. He took up my responsibilities. Then he made me join in MAAC. Came and they asked me, what do you think of VFX? You know, I always thought that these 3D simulations, these fire, these things are never meant in software. I thought it was done in real life. They used to blast in real life. I used to think like that. When I said this answer, the whole class went at laughing. I just felt very bad that day. You know, that day I decided to work hard every day and to achieve my goals. Then I worked on every competition which was held in MAAC, like 24 FPS, MCL, NSN, everything. When you speak about MAAC, you have to speak about faculties. Such a high quality faculties they have. They always explain small things so that we can build a big picture around it. One good thing about MAAC faculties is that they will never make you
alumni. I'll just skip it. And also, this is another milestone that MAAC has achieved. We have a pathway to study abroad. We have a tie-up with a Canadian university, which is based in Vancouver. Okay, so study in Canada. So what you have to do, the student has to, the MAAC has partnered with BCEA, Langara College, situated in Vancouver, Canada. The advantage is complete and exclusively designed prep program with MAAC and get eligible to study in Canada for an advanced diploma for 2 years. So the benefit is completing advanced diploma in Canada will make students eligible for postgraduate work permit for up to 3 years. So if anyone wanted to settle down in Canada or get a job in animation VFX or want to learn animation VFX in Canada, because Canada is a hub for animation and VFX. So MAAC helps them to get into VCEA, Langara College in Vancouver. So this is one milestone we have achieved now. And this is our infrastructure inside Hindustan College of Arts and Science. As I said, we help our students work in a studio-like environment. So that's why we have designed our institute in such a way that they get the feel of that. So that's an inauguration video. This is our infra. So this is a 16-seater animation VFX institute. Okay, so that's it. Any questions?
Students, if you have any queries, you can raise your questions.
I would be very happy if you guys would fill this form for us. So let's take a 5 to 10 minute extra just to fill that form. It's a feedback form from us. And meanwhile, any questions you can ask. Anyone? Tamil la kuda kekkalam.
ஏதாவது டவுட் இருந்தா கேட்கலாம்.
No questions? So guys, we are actually, we have gone into an MOU with your college. You can very well make use of us. We are also offering online classes. Interested people can join our online classes directly or through your college, or we can make use of the MOU. I think Kamal sir can explain you about the MOU. And if we get a chance, I think we can work together and bring this vast industry into your college itself. So everyone is on mute. If no one wants to ask any questions.
Okay, sir. Can we close the session, sir?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Thank you for giving a wonderful session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Really,
Sir,
it's interested.
I request you that students would fill that feedback form first. Please
Sure,
make.
sir. I will share this link to students group and do let you know, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to work with AJK soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Happy lockdown next 14 days.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.